Hello and welcome to the round 13 teams video. It's George from Fantasy Take TV, and today we'll discuss the 6 games in this bye round, and it is not good, not looking pretty, because a bit of bye, bit of rookie carnage, and we'll speak about GWS, potentially some interesting ones there. So the Richmond vs Port game's already gone by, so we'll touch on that real quick, and also thanks to our sponsors at Manscaped. So we'll get into the video. So Richmond vs Port, so Richmond got up this game, so I think, don't really need to go over this, but I guess Butters copped a bit of a knock, but he's fine. Just a knock to the cheek, was bleeding, had to go off for a bit, so he scored the 87. Still not loving Short's role, scored 100, but don't know about his role. I think he's probably relies a bit more on receiving the ball rather than winning it himself. He's more of an outside player, I think, but nonetheless, he's still scoring okay, I guess. But into the team name, so I did trade in Judson Clark, and I'm not expecting much from him next week. You'd think he holds, had a good game, kicked 2 goals early. But yeah, traded him in. I needed a downgrade option mid-forward. Given he's just started playing, you'd think he gets 2 games. So got the 62 points and take it and run. So hopefully he puts in a good one next week. But yeah, not expecting. I'll be surprised if he, I'd take a 45 next week, to be honest, but we'll see. And also this one, Hayes. So I am a Sam Hayes owner. Not anymore. I traded him to the 102 Port rookie. I forget his name. Tickle. So yeah, that's annoying that he's out. You could hold, and you'd think he comes back next week. I think he's been omitted because he was sick. That's what was said on Twitter. So this is like Finlayson and Dixon in the ruck. It's just not. I don't know. That's not a ruck duo. That's forwards playing in the ruck. So I guess they probably didn't have much choice. So that's whatever. But I guess we'll look at Judson Clark next week, see what else is available. For example, we might get Elijah Hollands next week. A bit of talk about he's forcing his way in, so I'd definitely go Elijah over Judson Clark. But he did his job. He looked good. Has some nice attributes. Was able to stick a few good tackles, I think, and had a decent leg on him as well. So yeah. Anyway, we'll get to the next game. So Essendon versus Carlton. I still haven't decided on Parrish or Walsh this week. I'm trading one in. I still have no idea who I want. Maybe we'll touch on that. So Stringer, Redman, Guelphy in, out Waterman, Ham, Devon Smith, and Tex Manganine out. In for Carlton, Caleb Marchbank, 200k defender. Not really interested, to be honest. Like 200k for a rookie is just too much at this point in the year. Harry Mackay's in. That's good for Cripps, I think. Martin, Boyd, and Matt Kennedy in, out Carroll. So yeah, kind of writing was on the wall here. Wiedering, Jesse Motlop, probably stiff, he's been alright. Stocker out, Cottrell, and Paddy Dow out. So yeah, out for Matt Kennedy. So nothing really of note here. So yeah, as I said, on where is it? Harry Mackay in should mean that he takes the second ruck duties and Cripps. So hopefully we see a bit of bounce back from Cripps. That would be great, because I don't need another problem, given how well some of the other mids are going. So we'll touch on Essendon defense, like nothing here. Merritt's a great option for his price. I think a lot of people must be struggling for cash if you're going for Merritt, which is fine. So yeah, you can definitely go for Merritt. I would definitely pay up for Parrish or Walsh or Blair or Mills next week, but I think Merritt will be around the mark. I think he's like top, I don't know, I can't remember what I have in my ranks, probably like 13th, 12th, something like that. So that's still pretty good, especially for the price. So I'll be paying up, but not against, if you want to go for Merritt, that's fine. Nothing really else. Martin on bowl, not sure that actually happens. And then DP looks really good this year. Hobbs on the bench, I got Hobbs, so hopefully he puts in a good one. That would be great. And then Carlton side of things, so Boyd is a 160k defender. Lockdown-ish role. Looked alright. Made a few clangers early in the year, but defensively looked okay. Yeah, I'm not interested in paying 160 for a rookie. So you could go him if you got no one else and you don't need the money, but I really wouldn't. Walsh on a wing. Walsh scores fine on a wing, and I think he starts at half forward too. So I think the main issue with Walsh is how does he go with Cripps? How does he go with Cripps in form? Matt Kennedy, Chera, and Hewitt. So not too sure. But yeah, Sam Walsh post bye in 2020. He went 120 average on a wing, so he can score there. It's no doubt about it. He still pushes up to stoppage, but he covers incredible amount of ground. I can't split Walsh and Parrish. Parrish's role was a bit more secure and he's less point sharing. But I just like Sam Walsh seems to finish years really, really well. 2020, 2021 finished the years really, really well, and I don't see why this year's different. So I'm not too sure yet, but I think I'll probably go Walsh, but I could change at the last minute. And that's probably enough on this game. Did I say Marchbank? Yeah, 200k defender. No thanks. Alright, Brisbane versus the Saints. Danaher and Mitch Robinson in, out, Achieve, Fort, omitted, so just on the run, one ruck, and Pryor. In for the Saints, Dan Butler, Jack Higgins, out, Sharman, Wangan Miller, and Ryan Burns. So, thank heavens, Mitch Owens held, which is good. So Brisbane, Zorko named him back, so he played deep forward, a bit of half forward in the first half, and then in the second half, he played a bit defense and then just played kind of everywhere. So I think you could hold this week. I'm not sure what his break even is, but yeah, I don't love the pick. Again, 33-year-old, dodgy preseason, shown a low floor this year, too many high-scoring defenders. I would trade on his buy if you can, but just depends on where your team's at. Just don't trust the pick. So, but yeah, he can score well. Didn't like the role as on the last game that he played. What else we got? Danaher's back. Okay, so maybe Fort was just in for Danaher, and Danaher can play the second ruck role. Big O. I wonder if he's alright. If he's solo ruck, I wonder if he's alright. Back into the bye. I guess not really. Has the bye next week, so no one really has a way to get him in. But interesting to see how he goes. But yeah, interesting one. And that's pretty much it. And on the Saints side, Sinclair. I think Sinclair doesn't do well at the Gabba historically, but he's a different player this year, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. I'm still considering him for next week. I'm not getting him this week, but maybe next. I could go Tom Stewart actually, but just depends on a few things. I think it depends on how much money Hobbs makes, so we'll see. What else we got? Gresham's been good the past few weeks. Nothing really. So Owen's last on the bench. Hunter Clark emergency. Interesting. So you think he forces his way in at some point? Yeah, not too sure. I wonder if he's sub. Like these three could easily be sub, so not too sure. Fremantle versus Hawthorn. In Walters, Nat Fife. That'll be good to watch. And Swikowski in, out Tucker, Meek. So very happy if you're a Darcy owner. Frederick, club suspension, had a beer on a 6-day break or something. Crowden out. Scrimshaw in, Callow in, Sanfrost out, and oh no, Connor McDonald omitted. I hype this pick up for not much reason other than I thought he played his role well, and despite not scoring well in a tough role, and he had the last spot. But yeah, had a few bad turnovers last week, and that probably cost him his spot. So, damn, that was not a good hold. Gunston out, Impey managed. Lewis injured. Oh, that's a big one for them. Okay, so before we get to... We'll touch on Hawthorn in a sec. Whether Connor McDonald can be sub, but... Freo, halfbacks, like whatever, nothing here. Logue probably stays back again now that they got Fife and Swikowski. And Walters, I guess. Midfield, Brayshaw and Darcy on... I think they did light duties at training. They're probably fine. Well, they're playing, so they must be fine. And yeah, Nat Fife forward. So you're not really relevant for Supercoach this year. Will be available as a forward. Could be very cheap next year, but I don't think they want to upset the balance of Brody and Brayshaw and Sarong in there. I think they're doing quite a good job, but you'd think that 5 gets a bit of rotations in there. So yeah, see how that goes with if it affects 5 much. I don't think it will though. Tracy didn't come in. Apparently he scored like 190 Supercoach in a half or something like that in the waffle. Took like 10 contested marks, something like that anyway. So moving on to Hawthorn. Defense is like whatever. Callow, I can't remember. I don't have it open right now, but I know he's cheap in fantasy. I can't remember what he is in Supercoach, but yeah, not key forward. Probably be straight back out when Mitch Lewis is in, so probably wouldn't touch him. Mitchell on ball, scoring really well in fantasy, really poorly in Supercoach. So not one I touched this year in Supercoach. Not enough CBAs to go with the top dog mids, but might be okay in fantasy. And then who is sub here? So someone on Twitter said CJ might be a late out, one to watch. Like no substance other than someone saying on Twitter. So we'll see. Keep an eye on it, I guess. And then who's sub here? Well, I don't even know who the hell these two are. And then Finn McGuinness and Connor McDonald. Now the bad thing for Connor McDonald is Finn McGuinness had 35 in the VFL last week. And Finn can fill in for CJ down back, I think. Finn can kind of play anywhere, which would mean maybe he comes in and then Connor McDonald sub. But yeah, I really hope he's sub and then he comes on and just like get me 30 points or something. That would be great. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but I mean, I'm just going to put him on field and hope he plays. So yeah, that's Connor McDonald, Rioli out, and Sam Hayes. So my team is basically like falling, even though it's rookies, like it accumulates to lose this many players. North versus the Giants, Lazario, Archer, and Stevenson, and Ben Mackay's out. They extended benches in Adam Kennedy, Prustine, Whitfield, Haynes, Bobby Hill, and Brander. So we'll quickly touch on North. So North is like, doesn't really matter. So Perez and Paul Curtis are playing, so that's great if you have them. They're kind of doing their job, scoring throughout the buys. Then you can get rid of them next week if it suits. Hall named on a wing, like I don't care about Hall. He's 2 hamstrings this year, 31, like absolutely never again. So good luck if you go down that route. I know someone in Discord did and named Shaq. I don't know if he watches this video, but I told him don't do it. You're going to get cop an injury most likely, but can't predict these things. But man, it's just too risky. So yeah, and then like there's whatever North, and then the Giants defense. So Kenny down back, where first on interchange. Okay, so there's 2 things really to go over here, maybe 3. Well, Lockie Whitfield named at half forward. I think they use him in the half forward wing role. I think that would be smart. They don't need him down back. They got Cumming, Ward. They're playing down back now. So yeah, I think this is a better role for him, half forward wing for Supercoach. So look, he could be a very cheap option if he's over that injury, but it's hard to trust Whitfield going forward. But he's one it's worth watching, I think, and it is against North, so you don't want a false sense of security knowing that, he's back because he played well against North. Just keep an eye on it, I guess. But see how he looks on the eye. Cogs named a half forward. I think the coach basically said he's going to play mostly mid now, so that's great. And a few people going for Josh Kelly. I know Spills is... Look, I love Josh Kelly, but I've owned him probably 3 out of the past 4 or 5 years. Maybe twice, 3, I can't remember. And man, I can't do it again. No way. Just every time. The thing with Josh Kelly, I've said this before, every time it looks like it's going to work, he looks amazing, he looks fit, something happens. He's laid out, he rolls his ankle, soft tissue injury. He hasn't done a soft tissue injury in about 3 years, I want to say. But he's missed 1 game with soreness of like a quad or something like that. Or a cuff, something like that. This year, in 2020 and 2021. So, look, if he plays 21 games, I think he'd still be happy, but I just can't do it. We've been down this road many times, and I ain't going back. I'm sorry, but he looks unreal, and he's probably going to kill North. Because he's one that destroys bad teams. Having said that, I'm going to trade him in fantasy. play for upside. But I can't afford it in Supercoach because just like 4 trades remaining after the bye. So the next one is Jacob Ware. So does Jacob Ware play? So we'll find out. And if he does play, do you trade him in? Well, I think there's no one else if you need a downgrade. So I think you do. Charlie Dean is one that I think will come in. If you need someone to downgrade and you don't want Ware, you could go Charlie Dean. He's expected to be available shortly after the bye. But so let's see here. So they got the 6 defenders. So maybe Perryman. Who's in? So there's no real centre bounce midfielder in. So maybe they keep using Perryman inside. And that would mean like Lockie Ash goes to down back. I can't remember where Ash played before. I know he got no CBAs. I can't remember if it was halfback or wing. So maybe like Perryman could play as an inside mid a bit, like he has been the past 2 weeks. Ash goes back. And then like I think Bruin plays. Nick Haynes, I think, would play. Does O'Halloran play? I don't think so. Does Keith play? Well, I think they can use him forward, and like I don't see a place for Keith here unless I'm mistaken, because Haynes will play. So Haynes will play down back, and they got Himmelberg forward. Hogan. They could. I don't think they will play him. And then Steen. Well, he's kind of competing with Ware. I'm just going to assume no. Because Ware was okay last game. And then Bruce, does he play? Well, classic GWS. They said that he's had a few issues with his body the past 2 weeks, or an issue with his body, which they didn't report 2 weeks ago. So that's just classic the Giants. Leon might be gone, but you know, some things stay the same. Does he play? Well, Flynn's named in the ruck, so they might be thinking about it. But maybe it's like a fitness thing. Maybe it's like a matchup thing. Yeah, I guess you see, if he doesn't play, well, I think you're in a bit of trouble because you're probably planning for other stuff this week. Or you can just go down to like Teakle or something and do a double up somewhere. So see how you go with that. But yeah, honestly, if I had to guess, probably not this game, because if he was 100%. You would think he'd be first ruck, so I don't know. Maybe something's happened the past few weeks, but a bit of smoke here, so we'll see how he goes. I don't know if they play 2, but yeah. So I think if these 4 are out, or I think Ware's a chance to play on the bench, but I think these 3 will play. So Ware just has to beat these, and maybe it comes down to whether like a matchup, like do they play Bruce? That would leave like Ash, Haynes, and Ware. I don't know where Ash will play though, but that's like a lot of defenders. But yeah, we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. So that's enough on that game. And then Monday, a lot of games this week. Monday is Collingwood versus Melbourne. What is this event? Queen's birthday? As if we celebrate that. McRae, Chug, Elliot, Roscoe, out Reef, Chug, extended bench, I'm guessing, yeah. In Turner, who's that? Chandler, Hibberd, Oscar Baker, Wiedemann, out Hunt and Bedford. Turner, where is he? No, last on the bench, so whatever. Not going to get named for a while, so I don't see how he breaks in. So yeah, there's really nothing going on this game. Lipinski, if you have Lipinski, you definitely hold this week, but he actually looked quite good inside, but I think he's been struggling on the inside for most of the year, but around the ground been quite good. Forward been pretty damaging, I've thought. CBAs are pretty low, but yeah, still are up the ground. So I guess with a lot of other forwards kind of not falling apart, but you know, Baz has gone for a bit. Bont's playing injured. I think it's not the worst thing to hold him throughout the year, but you probably get like a mid to low 90s average, I think. So it was against Hawthorn as well. So let's see how he goes. DeGoey is like similar boat to Lipinski. It's not, the role isn't as good as what we thought. The CBAs are there, but not as much around the ball, like spending a fair bit of time forward. So yeah, probably average similar, I think. Yeah, not too sure. I think ideally they probably go to someone better if you can find somebody. And then Darcy Cameron, well, Grundy's 4 to 6 weeks away. I think you just hold him Like, he's too good. I think he's top 3, top 4 forward until Grundy comes back. So I would be holding. Dacos on the bench. You would think he plays. Unless they want to manage him. I think they've thought about managing him for a while, but with the bye just around the corner, I think that he probably plays. And defense, whatever. Midfield, yeah, there's again, Melbourne's just a waste of time speaking about it. But if you people frustrated with Petrarca, I'm holding. Give him a bye, and maybe he has a good second half of the year. Melbourne need a win. He's a great player, so see how they go. So that's all from me. Thanks for watching, and yes, we'll see you guys soon.